All right, everybody, welcome back. Here we are, 2017 Chrysler Pacifica. So all of these Chrysler 3.6 liters have a oil cooler in the valley that the oil filter goes into, and they always leak. So we're going to take this apart, show you how to change it. First thing we're going to do, get this cover off. 2 10s, one there, one there. All right, now that we got that cover off, the next thing we got to do is take off the intake manifold. So that is going to be these here, here, one back there, and one here, and I think one more here. But to do that, we got to unhook all this. So electrical stuff, air box out of here, unhook this line here, unhook this here, get everything unattached from this intake manifold. It's got to come off. Pops off a rubber thing in the back. And you gotta unhook intake air temp sensor. Okay, 3 10s. We're going to leave that like that for now. Push down in the middle, pull it off. Okay, so now that you got all that disconnected, this thing's loose. Now we're going to come right down here in the front. 10 millimeters right there and there. And more right there and there. 2 of them, so 4 of them all together. Take those out, then we're going to take these 8s out, and this thing should come off. Now can we just slide it off here? Something's still hooked up. Oh, this little thing here. There we go. And boom. Manifold comes off. This piece out of the way. Okay, after we get the upper intake manifold, then you got to do the lower intake manifold. What I'm going to try to do is just here, 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 disconnect the fuel. And then same thing there, there, and here, and here. And see if you can take that out of there all in one piece. I think we can. Go ahead. Well, another thing you have to do is unplug all the injectors. Pull up on the red tab, and then push in on this piece till you hear it click, and then pull it off. Right. Now we pull this up out of here, like so. Okay, so now that you have the lower intake manifold off, now we got the culprit. This is the oil cooler. This is where your oil filter goes in. Where this bolts to the motor, it always leaks. There's coolant. It fills up this thing. I've seen these things all the way filled up. This one's not too bad. And then it runs out right over here, and it runs down the back of the transmission, or it sometimes there's a hole and it looks like it's coming out the rear main seal. But this is the culprit. We're going to get this thing out of here. 8 millimeter here to take the hose clamp off, unplug this electrical connector, and then we got reverse torques here, 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 here. Take those 5 reverse torques out, and then this whole thing comes out of here. This little clip right here. It's in the way. There we go. Okay. Reverse torques. It's an 8. disconnect this hose right here, which is kind of a pain sometimes. Just grab it, twist. Like so. And now you can see too all the oil that leaks into the valley when you take this off. So we'll be sucking that out of there with something. Alright, I'm going to clean all this up. All right, put your new one in here. It's all made of metal this time. Get all your gaskets put in, get your sensors changed out, and then stick this thing back in here onto the hose, and then down into the O-ring, and then tighten it back down. Once it's in the right spot, tighten it back down. I'm gonna go slow. Okay, we're gonna re-plug in. All right, plug in. It was facing up, so I'm gonna plug that back in. And this one did have a sensor in it, but it was never plugged into nothing. So they make a plug for that, but I went ahead and put the sensor back in. All right, now you can see this is all bolted in here. Nice. Now we're going to get new intake gaskets on the lower manifold and put it back on after we tighten that. All right, we got new gaskets on the lower. Now it's going back in. Eights again. Plug your injectors back in. All right, now we're going to put new gaskets on all these. Back on here. It also looks like someone's had this off before and I didn't have to take a 10 out of here. Upper. Back in here. So, and yeah, there was a 10 missing in there. Everybody, so we're back together now. Got everything hooked back up. Oil cooler, when it has an orange cap, you know that it's already been changed to the metal one because the plastic ones always leak. So they make a replacement. This is the part number for the replacement. It comes with everything, the cap, new oil filter, new O-rings, everything. And that's what you need to fix it. All right, everybody, thanks for watching. We will catch you on the next one.